Tangpuz. He's an interesting character. Fine Art Studio Assistant at Johnson County Community College. You can find out more about him and more about his work at junipertangpuz.com. What do you get when you cross a cartoonist with a sculptor? The answer is a visual linguist and a Filipino-American. Juniper Tangpuz, aka TJ, he creates art as objects with elements found from a variety of worlds that only exist to offer us a place where we can delight in imagination. Please welcome Juniper.
Hello, heroes. How you doing? One of the questions that people always ask me is, I have two names, Juniper and TJ, and I began my art career as an illustrator or a cartoonist. And one of the things I love doing is drawing. And when I draw, I like to just see everything. This is how people behave. And when I would tell my stories, I would come up with these characters, and then I would just play their roles. And sometimes I like to show like extreme contrast in things, kind of like how we all wear masks to hide how we feel inside. And so that became kind of like a big deal in my art making, to kind of show these extremes. This one here is like all around sports ball kind of ostracized football, because he's like this weird shape, and it's like, oh, man, I just want to be just like everybody else, but I can't. So when I was in illustration, I wanted to do pop-up books, and that really changed the way I saw the world, because I didn't just exist in a flat plane anymore. I had to, you know, expand. And so I brought that into sculpture. When I was a kid, I played the violin. I wasn't very good at it, but it was one of those tender moments in my childhood. But I wanted to make a sculpture about that. And what you do is you pull the bow, and it spins the zoetrope. So you're not exactly playing music. It's the dancer inside that little spinning world hears it, and she dances. I have two violins, and the other one goes into another piece called the fiddleback. And I always thought that it was strange that, like, we identified this creature by this distinct shape on them, and they're completely unrelated. You know, a spider and a fiddle have nothing to do with each other, but in this case, they do. And when I started making things that were bigger, the pop-up book artist in me felt the need to compress everything. So this way I could fit it into a door, and fit it in my car, and do all sorts of weird stuff with it. And all the compartments fit in the trunk of this piece. I grew up poor here in Kansas City, and I made all my toys out of paper. And I don't regret that. I mean, it was one of those things that, like, you have to deal with, and it was very special because those toys were mine. And I loved animals. And so, fast forward into the future, the cartoons started becoming pop-ups and puppets, and they became just slivers of my personality. And so this here is a little angry cat guy. So the next step that I wanted to do was to make these things huge. And in order to do that, I had to transfer it to another material. So I started making things out of this corrugated plastic. It looks like cardboard, but I could work larger and in color. But I also had to, you know, build, you know, structures underneath it. And these things I made for Avenue of the Arts in 2008. And they're about, let's say, like 15, 16 feet tall. The adults, and the child's about like 10 feet tall. had a lot of fun making them. So what I try to do now is I try to take two different things and put them together, like the teddy bear cactus here. Teddy bear and the cactus had nothing to do with each other, but I wanted to make it more bear-like. And he folds down to about 1/3 of the size. Last year I had the opportunity to go to Bulgaria. So this piece is done in their flag, but it's not just an accordion. It's also a camera obscura. So what you do is you hold the camera up to the landscape and then you see Bulgaria in the background. And when I went there, I didn't know the language at all. But I did know one language, and that was the language of drawing. And so that kind of broke the ice and helped me, you know, communicate to them the things that things about me. Paper for me is like, you know, very easily translated to another material. So now I start taking it into these other genres of visual art making, and it's been really good to me. I'm not really sure what's going to happen to me, but I hope that you guys stick around. This here is a puppet that I made, and he's kind of like another character that I play. So, I actually brought one of these things to show you. And, oh, wait, hold on, this one piece. Okay, so I went to drawing flat, and then I popped them out into a sculpture, and then I forced them back into two-dimensional, and then I threw some time in there. And this here is a zoetrope flower. And so now I'm going to play you something. This one's called Bird Poop. Good luck.